Awesome. How was your weekend, everybody? Hopefully you guys had a good one. Um, Let me know if you made any cool purchases this weekend. Like I said, there is a lot. There's a lot of news, a lot of toy news. But before I go into that, I wanna ask you guys something. So, right now we're not talking movies at all. We're not talking really a lot of Hollywood stuff that has to do with any kind of like promotions and whatnot in honor of the strike that's happening. So mainly the channel for the last couple of months has been a lot of toy related news. We talk about if there's like any kind of like actor and actress news, again, not promoting anything. We have the Ghostbusters build series going on, which this week's video will be delayed. I apologize. I did not get a chance to work on it. It'll be delayed. And, other random things here and there. I also throw in a little stock market stuff in relation to toys from time to time. But I want to know if there's other things you guys are like interested in that you talk about a lot or that you consume media wise that you think I would like to talk about. So, for example, this past week, there's been a lot of scamming going on in the world of content creation, right? You have the reveal of a bunch of podcasters. Turns out they've been getting scammed this whole time. People like, what's Theo Von, Tony Hawk, and other dude, of course, Brendan Schaub. Some of you know him. Apparently, they've all been getting scammed by this other company, this larger media company. That's something I've been following a lot, but I don't really talk about here. I did when this channel first started, but I kind of shied away from that. So, if you guys also follow that kind of stuff, like podcasts, like drama and all that stuff, I can talk about that on the channel. Also, in the realm of like hip hop stuff, I follow a lot of stuff over there. So a big thing this week last week, Diddy, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. Puffy, a.k.a. Sean Diddy Combs. He gave back publishing rights to a lot of his artists for music that he's been making money on this whole time. And he was getting a lot of like praise and stuff like that. But because he's also a scammer, he put a lot of things in the contract and a lot of stipulations for these people to get their content back. And it's also one of those scenarios where it's like, I drank this entire can of liquid death and I gave you the backwash and I'm telling you to be grateful for it. So a lot of things going on over there. Like I said, last week seemed like a very scammy week in content creation, but I didn't talk about it here. And I'm not sure if that's something you guys are interested in or you guys follow. So, definitely let me know. In relation to that, and then I'll go back up. Raven saying, didn't hear this until now. T3 says, definitely follow that stuff. Kind of goes hand in hand when we do podcasts. Yeah. So just to give you guys like the rest of you, some sort of like overview here. When you watch, other podcasts, like these very like well-polished podcasts, again, Theo Von, Joe Rogan, a bunch of other people, even though it's weird, Joe Rogan's not looped into this and I have a lot of questions there, but you watch a lot of these shows and you see that these podcasters are making like crazy money. Brendan Schaub, probably the most hated in the Joe Rogan sphere of podcasters. He's a former MMA fighter, turned podcaster, turned comedian, went from being beloved to absolutely hated. So you see a lot of these guys like rolling around in like a new Porsche every year, a new Ferrari, bigger and better sets. And as a consumer, you think, oh, they must be doing crazy like YouTube ad revenue. They must be doing crazy comedy sellouts, when they do shows on a regular basis. But it turns out that a lot of these podcasts, they make deals with larger companies, these larger podcast media companies, in their example, one called Podcast One, I believe, which now is under a different umbrella. I might have it backwards, but either way, these larger companies would say, "Hey, General Kenobi, your show's doing great. I'm going to do the hard work for you, and get companies to want to run ads on your podcast. And in doing so, I'm going to pay you a large amount of money, and then I'll get my money back on a lot of the ad stuff. And you'll also get some of that money." So that's how a lot of these podcasters can live like crazy lives, because they're getting so much money up front. But then it turns out the residual money coming in stopped flowing, or wasn't flowing as much. And the upfront money, they were getting like a portion of it, and then that fell off too. But they were all under the guise of, "Hey guys, work for yourselves. Hey guys, like, you could be like us. I don't know why you don't podcast like us, and like you could have like this cool car." But it turns out they were working for somebody else this whole time. So it's this large, it's super interesting to me. And I know some of you mentioned you kind of are interested in that stuff too. So I can make videos about that later on, but it's like finding out wrestling's not real. Like you kind of think it isn't, like you kind of suspect, you're not sure. And it turns out they're all fake, and they're all under one network, and they all promote each other. And that's the bottom line. So Kenobi says, "That sucks about the scamming. In other news, I'm helping this Nigerian prince by sending him some funds. He said it could be a real general." Definitely keep us updated and vlog that entire series. T3 says, "Oh, sweet general, you think I could be your security?" There you go. I'm telling you, man, you guys can vlog this entire thing. You can vlog the entire thing. Rolando says, "Show me the money." I love that. We're going to have a whole army of nerds heading to Nigeria to serve under the General Kenobi army. That's all we ever wanted. That's all we ever wanted. T3 saying, as a reminder LeBron said to hit that like button like Chuck Norris. And then T3 says, OGTGP isn't big, but I work hard on it, and I got my own sponsorships. OGTGP. Overgrown Third Graders Podcast. There you go. Yeah, exactly. And yes, use his affiliate link to buy Mask of the Phantasm. Yeah, when it comes to the podcast, I've been watching a lot of creators talk about it. The one guy, he has an English accent. He wears glasses, crazy hair. I forget the name off the top of my head. I've been loving it. I've been loving his videos. And he's like, these guys are so lazy. Like, a lot of these comedians, like, people are definitely emailing, DMing, all that stuff about sponsorship deals. And they're like, no, I'd rather just have a larger media company manage that for me. But they're also pieces of shit, because they're, person A, or let's say client number 1, gets that deal, notices they're not getting all their money from the jump, and still keeps telling other comedians to sign up. And then they tell the next person and the next person and the next person. Like, it's wild to me. It's absolutely wild to me. And think about it. Back in the day, like old school Joe Rogan, when the show was good, as I like to think, when he had like the Fleshlight sponsorship, for example, like that's like one sponsor paying you X amount of dollars. Like, these shows can definitely find one or two to pay them a decent amount, and then just ad read and be like, hey, you know what? A little bit extra here is I'm not having your ad read with like 5-10 other companies. It's just yours. So pay me a higher amount. And don't try to drive like 50 Porsche cars a year. I don't know. Like, it doesn't make sense, other than like, you must be lazy. You must be lazy. Rolando says Chuck Norris doesn't hit the like button the like button hits itself. Yeah. T3 says, yeah, they're in Europe playing shows. LeBron says, Amazon sent my package to Florida from Atlanta. For clarification, I'm 45 minutes from there. Love that. Chrissy Rose, first time in the chat, I believe, saying, what's up, man? It is good to see you. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I kind of forgot that this was Nerdy Coffee and I'm supposed to be talking about nerd news. So I should probably like start the show. Like that might be a good idea. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. I mean, no need to hit the button, but I'll hit the button anyway. You know, nerd news.